On today's episode of the Keeg, we talk about the geek news of the week, including the new Pixar movie, Onward. Onward is a fantasy movie. You guys have any fantasies?
Only about you.
Oh, yeah.
Stop. You guys are making me blush.
T-H-E-K-double-E-G. 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 Get ready for the Keeg.
Coming at you from Comic Hero University in Fullerton, California, this is the Keeg. I'm your host, Dimithri Perera, and we got stuff to talk about and not much time. So let's get to it. I brought two guests, and I'm going to introduce them right now. And I'm pretty much going to just say what I'm doing. I feel like I'm walking everyone through my thought process right now. So I'm Dimithri Perera. To my left, we got actor/comedian Nathan Shube.
Hello.
How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. You've been on the show before.
I have, last season.
We had a 3-episode season last season.
Well, then
you were on one of them.
I'm honored to be a part of it. That's like a third of your last season.
Yeah, you were on a third. That's a pretty big chunk.
Lot.
Yeah. Season 3, we had 22 episodes. Season 4, we had 3.
Okay, does that count as being like a season regular?
Yeah, I think you get a Taft-Hartley for it. I think there's a whole SAG thing going on.
I gotta start building my points.
Yeah. To the left of Nathan, we got Robert Thompson. First time. You are a comedian. You have your own podcast.
Yep.
Robertland podcast.
Yes,
where we talk about, what is it? All lands dedicated to Robert?
In my brain, all of the personalities and things going on. No, it's a theme park comedy podcast. Yeah. So any crazy stories from your theme park experiences and just about rides, anything to do with theme parks and movies and yeah.
Yeah. You were telling me earlier about like decapitations on rides and all that stuff.
Yeah. Doing this podcast has definitely shown me that theme parks are not an innocent place, and a lot of terrible things happen at theme parks. So it's wonderful. A lot of stories of decapitation, people conceiving children on children's rides. It's crazy.
Conceiving it.
Yeah.
Has anyone given birth on a ride?
Oh definitely. Yeah.
I'm sure the G-forces just
I find your fashion very Louis Stevens from Even Stevens.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Specific
It's
reference.
very specific. I mean, I used to love Even Stevens.
Is that Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf's character in it.
I used to have big curly hair like
that really?
too. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
But. I like it. Let's talk about what's actually on the itinerary for today. Let's talk about a movie, again, that we have not seen, but was set to come out in April, which is No Time to Die, the new 007 James Bond movie. No Time to Die was supposed to come out in April, got moved back to November, not for reshoots, and I don't know whether they've officially stated why it's gotten moved back, but there's one of two theories. The first theory is that the whole coronavirus problem will affect box office sales, and thus they want to move it to hopefully in November when we don't have to worry about that, and they can sell more tickets. But I heard this move is going to cost them big.
Sure.
Do you guys have any opinions about that?
Well, I know that also part of that same theory is that it's not necessarily U.S. domestic sales as much as it is the overseas sales. Okay. They're worried about it not selling well in China because they're dealing with some shit. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I mean, everything that we have here, they have it worse.
Right. And so they were, I think it's more about the international sales. Okay. If that is the theory that we're going with, that would be my guess, because I don't think it's an outbreak here, but it's not nearly on the scale I think that they're panicking, I guess. Yeah. I don't think it's keeping people out of public areas here the way I think it would be overseas. Right.
Linking up with the whole China thing is that they wanted to move Mulan back, but that's coming out in a couple weeks. End of March. And so it was too late for them to move it back. So probably also with the link to China, they would want the Chinese audiences to watch Mulan and, get ticket sales off of that. But it's too late to move that. So it is what it is. Yeah. I don't know. Did you have any thoughts about that?
Well, that is interesting because I would assume that they'd push back the James Bond thing for international purposes. I could see that. But yeah, Mulan that's going to be like a test to see like how the market is right now with what's going on.
Right.
Because like I saw Onward yesterday.
Yeah.
And I remember it was a little light.
So moving on past James Bond, No Time to Die, let's talk about the new publishing initiative that's coming to Star Wars comics and Star Wars books, which is this new High Republic concept.
Yes.
Right? I think it's interesting that Star Wars is doing a concept initiative on their like printed material, like that's going to kind of be on books and things. But High Republic's supposed to take place 200 years before Episode 1, before the Skywalkers come about, right?
Right.
And it's like this golden age of this Republic, the High Republic, right? Where literally they're using a lot of gold in their promotional stuff. Have you guys? Are you guys Star Wars fans? Are you a Star Wars fan?
No, I hate it. It's the worst. Yes, I love Star Wars.
Yeah. Are you excited for this?
Absolutely. I think it's a really interesting. I mean, it's something that is relatively untouched in terms of like the greater Star Wars timeline.
Right.
And I like the imagery that they're going with. I wonder if it's related to them seeing the success of The Mandalorian being sort of a space western,
right?
And saying like, "Whoa, can we do Star Wars in other genres?
Like knights?
Can we do like they're literally calling it the Jedi Knights of the Round Table?
Okay.
And they're calling the villains like space Vikings. Like they're really trying to explore, I think, the conflict they were saying is going to come in from the outer rim, so there's going to be a lot of like space ranger style Jedi Knights, or like the sheriff kind of character archetype in these stories, which I think is really interesting. I'm hopeful that it will be interesting and good material. I
think they're trying to trek forward using new things but old things, right? It's very similar.
Yeah, I mean, I think the High Republic is very perfect for the times, you know, with the legalization of marijuana and stuff. So I think the stoner genre is perfect for Star Wars these days.
It's all about genre mashing. It's
they're doing what Jack in the Box is doing. There's going to be a Rastafari, you know, just like the guy in Smuggler's Run, whatever.
I don't like the Jedi in the prequels. Like, I feel like it's all very corrupted. You're not allowed to love.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah. All I know is if in High Republic they're allowed to love, right?
Right.
I would hate to be that guy in those 200-year span to be like, hey guys, how about this? We don't have sex.
and everyone, all right.
Let them use their lightsaber. You know? I don't know. No, what is how old is the Jedi? Have they ever like said that? Like,
there's supposed to be thousands of years old, right? But they've evolved over time.
So young Yoda is supposed to be in High Road or High
Republic.
He's alive for sure. Whether I
don't know that they've outspokenly stated
I haven't
it.
seen anything of him in the artwork, or I don't think they've mentioned him, but he's around. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's, you know, some.
He's gonna pop. He has to pop up at some point.
Cameo.
Right?
I think he'll cameo in some way within the books, in the comics. They're like, well, we gotta go, or like he's alluded to.
Would he look like just super attractive? It's gonna be just like young Yoda is like.
Maybe Zac Efron is Yoda.
Let it be stated that was your go-to. Zac Efron's your go-to guy.
That's a subconscious thing. That's my standard of male beauty. I don't know.
That's understandable.
I guess we'll see what the High Republic has. But the real meat and potatoes of this episode is a movie that we all saw. It is a little Pixar movie called Onward. Movie revolving around two elf brothers trying to bring their father back using magic in a fantasy world that has no magic. Do you guys, before we get into your thoughts about the actual thing, but what were your thoughts going into the movie or even seeing the trailer for the first time? Robert.
To me, it aesthetically didn't look too much like a Pixar movie. It looked more like a DreamWorks movie. And I mean, I'm a big fan of Pixar, and I didn't really have high expectation because I felt like they didn't really advertise it a lot, and it felt like they're almost like hiding something, you know? Mm-hmm. But I was knowing that Dan Scanlon did it, because I really enjoyed Monsters University, and I thought it was hilarious. I was, open-minded to it. Yeah. So, but I didn't know what to expect, really. Yeah.
I had the same experience. Like, I saw the trailers, so I understood, like, the plot is generally going to be about this. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
And the world is kind of fantasy-esque.
Yeah.
But that's basically about all I knew about it.
Right.
I didn't know much more than that, and it did seem kind of vague in their marketing for it.
I saw in the trailer, I'm like, there's only a couple of ways this ends, and it does not end with a happy ending. Like, and true enough,
it's a bittersweet ending.
It's a bittersweet ending. So, when we talk about movies on the show, we do allow spoilers. So, hopefully, people watching have already seen this, and so we are allowed to talk freely about it.
Great.
And hopefully, anyone within earshot has either seen the movie or doesn't mind spoilers about Onward. But Han
Solo dies.
Han Solo does die.
I knew going in. So I'm an older brother.
Okay.
And so I have a 6 years younger than me.
Yeah.
And so when I saw that this was a movie about two brothers, I went, oh, this isn't going to end well.
No.
Because I have a big soft spot for being an being older brother and whatnot. It got me good.
Oh. Do you have any brothers?
I'm the younger brother. We're a year apart, and that dynamic of the brothers, it hits you in the gut. It's I sometimes always feel like the Pixar movies, they're like emotionally manipulative.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, they're really like Good Dinosaur is one that I feel like it just for some reason I wanted. The movie I felt like was just going too hard at it's another dead dad dinosaur, dead parent dinosaur movie.
I still have not seen Good Dinosaur.
I haven't either.
Well, it's so this one I knew that that going into it that their dad is deceased.
Yeah.
But it still got to me and just it's still it's a but that dynamic of the brothers I thought was great.
You have a history with fantasy movies and the genre?
I mean, I love that Legend and other than Ridley Scott movie and a lot of I'm big on fairy tales and Grimm's fairy tales and all that stuff. And what I was curious about is what they were going to do with the world, because I wasn't sure on that either, like how they were going to define what this world is.
Yeah.
And I hate to keep bringing up The Good Dinosaur. It reminds me it reminds me of it because I feel like they're going to be like kind of an under the radar Pixar movie.
Yeah.
Kind of like and because it wasn't promoted very well.
Yeah.
It feels but I loved this movie. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
And I thought that it was a lot because in the again with The Good Dinosaur, I'm obsessed with it. But they didn't really they changed what it was about. It was about like The Good Dinosaur was supposed to be if the
comet
didn't happen,
but it
didn't really explore that at all.
No?
In this, they explore those rules of and I thought they did a great job. And I don't know if there's some sort of subtext to like the world we live in now, where it's all technology and we're kind of getting driven away, and from the magic of the our roots, which don't sound very magical.
Maybe it's about inspiration.
But
because I was trying to dive into that theme. I was trying to even right now I'm trying to think about it, trying to word it properly, but things are too easy, so we take the easier route, right?
And what do we miss?
What's the magic? What's the magic that we can use but don't? So I don't want you guys to rate the movie per se. Where does it fall? This is just closing thoughts, right?
Sure.
Where does it fall in the whole scheme of Pixar movies? Because the way I see it is Pixar movies are all great.
That's tough.
And it's just hard. Now you got to compare Pixar movies to Pixar movies.
I'd rate it higher just because I think it's going to fall. It's not going to get the same attention and affection. Yeah. And I thought they did a great job with it. So I don't know. I'll give it an A. I don't know. I thought it was a good movie.
Do you feel like it's in the top third? If there's three brackets for Pixar, is it in the top third or like that middle bracket? Probably not.
I'd put it in my top third.
Yeah?
I'd put it in my top third of Pixar movies in general.
Do you feel the same way?
I would too, because I feel like this is like a weird point for Pixar to follow all of those like legendary, those classic movies now that are brilliant movies.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. I thought it can sit alongside those.
I will say, I think that a lot of my enjoyment from this movie came from the fact that I relate to it both as a brother and as a fantasy nerd. Right? I think that the story on its own is pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
It's textbook. It's like, we have to do a thing, we have 24 hours to do it, we gotta go get the thing.
Yeah.
So in terms of like actual, like, the story isn't particularly like convoluted or crazy. It's about the characters and the world that is what makes it a favorite movie of mine.
Right.
So I wonder, I don't know if others would share the same opinion if they're not high fantasy fans, if they're not, you know. I'm sure they'd still enjoy
There's
it, but
a fantasy element in the brothers that I think tie in people's enjoyment.
For me personally.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that is all the time that we have today. Well, I mean, we got through a lot. So thank you guys so much for coming on the show.
For sure.
And sharing your thoughts with me, with the audience here, with the random passerbys that didn't ask for spoilers, but maybe they got them. Maybe they got them, you know?
Hope you saw the movie.
Thank you guys out there for watching the show. But for you guys, where can we find you guys next?
Well, I'm on Instagram at Shubaka. Maybe it'll appear on the screen.
It'll appear on the screen and on the podcast if you want to spell it out.
Okay, Shube, Shubeacca. Committing to my Star Wars.
Yeah. You're a Star Wars fan?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
And if you're in downtown Fullerton, you can come see Improv Shmimprov at the Maverick Theater on Friday nights at 11 p.m. Sometimes I'm in those, so that's cool.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Well, I do stand-up comedy pretty regularly. You can find me on Robertland Pod on Instagram. Also, I'm in a band, Dick Neptune and the Microwave Ovens.
What's it called?
Dick Neptune and the Microwave Ovens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we take ourselves extremely seriously.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's all fun. Robertland, look up the podcast. It's on all the streaming devices out there, services. Yeah. So.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool when we have like other podcasters on too, because it's like, all right, we're part of the same community.
Yeah.
We're brothers in arms.
Positivity.
Yes, is that a thing?
Okay, I gotta
Hashtag that.
We crowned a lot of terms today.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I don't remember half of them, but I'll watch it in post. You know? Thank you guys so much for coming on the show. Thank you guys so much for watching the show out there. You're either watching it on YouTube, youtube.com/The Keeg, or you're listening to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SoundCloud. One of those three, you're listening to it. We have the full unabridged audio on our podcast, and then the abridged video on our YouTube page.
Abridged video?
It's abridged. The
unabridged and then the abridged? No, the abridged.
The abridged video, the unabridged audio.
You lost me.
Not together. Anyway.
Alright, cool.
That is right.
Who's on first?
Yeah.
Who's on first?
Who's on first?
Abridged is Cliff Notes.
Yeah. So that's our video on YouTube.
I'm done.
If you are on social media, you could like, comment, subscribe to us on YouTube or on Instagram, Twitter. Those are at The Keeg Show. We're also on Facebook at facebook.com/The Keeg. So you can follow us there. We post some news. We try to keep people updated with Geek News of the Week there. So it's pretty cool. You can find us pretty much everywhere. I do want to thank behind the camera talent, Paul Lao, who's here, but I will stop him from talking. Do not talk. Do not even say hi. Say hi, Paul.
Hey.
And we got Matt Morey also behind the camera, helping us out, doing their parts. I want to thank them. Also want to thank Enrique Munoz that helps us. He helps us film here over at Comic Hero University. So thank you guys so much out there. So many people to thank. Thank you guys for watching. Next time, we're going to have guests Graham Bechtel and Andy Rice. Andy Rice will be back on the show for next episode. So stay tuned for all we have to offer. Once again, I'm your host, Dimithri Perera, and this has been The Keeg.
super strong or super fast. Gotta beat the